The second thing is found in verse 18. Let no one cheat you of your reward, taking delight in false humility and worship of angels, intruding to those things which he has not seen, and vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind. So first, he says self-imposed religion. The second is false humility or praying to angels. Now again, some of you may be like, I don't think I'm tempted to do that. That seems weird, right? And you're right. It is weird. But the reality is that these people were doing this. And so here's where the false humility comes from. Here's why they would even consider this. Here's the mindset that comes from this. And then I think we can apply that to other things in our own lives. And so the idea of false humility and praying to angels goes something like this. Oh, I am a wretched, horrible, sinful man. There is no way a holy, good, loving God would ever hear from me. He would never listen to me. I must use something else to go to Him and to be in between me and Him because I am not good enough to be there. And again, for some of us, we would say, well, there's an appearance of wisdom there, right? Because when we sing Amazing Grace, who saved a wretch like me, right? We're the wretch, right? And we're the sinner, and we don't authority to come to a holy God on our own. We don't have the authority to just march in our flesh and in our sin and say, God, you must listen to me. We don't have that ability. And so certainly there's an appearance of wisdom to say that no, I can't approach a holy God on my own. But the truth is that we can approach a holy God because of what it says in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. It says, for there is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man, Jesus Christ. There's one God, one mediator between God and men, the man, Christ Jesus. So there is one way to go to the Father. And remember, if that is the same Christ who has saved you, who has brought you out of death, who has given you life, who lives and dwells within you, the mystery of God in us, if that is the truth, then again, it's a false humility and it's a knock on the boldness that Christ has given us through His blood. We can now enter into the presence of God, not out of our own pride, but out of the truth of Jesus Christ. We now have boldness before Christ or before God, not because of who we are, but because of who Jesus is. And when we say we need somebody else to go before us, instead of Jesus, we are saying Jesus isn't enough. Here's what Matthew Henry said. Those who worship angels disclaim Christ, who is the only mediator between God and man. It is an insult to Christ, who is the head of the church, to use any intercessor but Him. It is an insult to Christ, who is the head of the church, to use any intercessors but Him. Those who ask Mary to pray for them on their behalf are deceived. And they're missing who Jesus is. And I don't say that out of animosity. I say that out of a broken heart. That Jesus is the one mediator. And He desires to be your personal mediator. That at any moment of any day, at any time, in any situation, in any struggle, through Him you can go personally to the throne of grace of God. It's heartbreaking. It's false humility.